So today we are sitting here in Taylor Seville, H+H Köln, and we are meeting with Nick, who obviously is from Taylor Seville, and he will talk with us about the company and everything what's about it. So welcome to our interview. Thank you so much for taking the time. We already talked a little bit. You have a really nice and kind voice, I have to say. You're a really kind energy person. So I'm looking forward for this interview, and I'm happy to hear more about Taylor Seville.
Sure. So my name is Nick Gupta. I am the founder and the CEO of this company. And we started about 10 years ago to look at the notion side of the sewing, quilting, and haberdashery side of the industry. And first we created a brand, and the way we created the brand is we took the word Taylor, which is an old word, but we put a Y in it to make it a little bit kind of, tongue-in-cheek. And then we took Seville, which from England was where the Seville roll was, where they made fine suits. So we combined the two together and we called it Taylor Seville. Then we added the word originals, and that means a lot of why we did it. Because we knew everything we were going to make in this brand had never been seen or done before. Then we approached it strategically and we said, okay, let's look at notions. And what we found was that there's actually 6 or 7 subcategories of notions. There's pins, there is clips, there's seam rippers, needle threaders, marking devices, and a couple other smaller categories. So we started, let's say, with the first category, a pin. And you go, what can you do with a pin? Well, this is the pin that has been for 100 years on the market. And the only innovation that had ever happened was someone put a ball at the end of it. Otherwise, it was a T. We sit together in focus groups of women of all ages, of all different crafts, and we started talking to them. And what they said was that, you know what, this pin with this ball is actually very difficult to maneuver, to hold, to use. It's hard to use. When something is a problem, that is an opportunity to make it better. That's where innovation steps in. So what we did then was we looked at multiple different designs, and we did what's called putting engineering and design muscle behind a problem. The problem, a pin that is very difficult to use, how do we make it better? Well, we did. So first, we came up with, and I'm going to, actually, because it's easier to see in this catalog. So first, we came up with what's called the Magic Pin original design. And we tested it, and the lady said, you know what, it is far better than the pin that we currently have. So we took our original design, which is the Magic Pin right here, and systematically, by color, we created a different language. Therefore, all quilting pins are blue, all patchwork pins are green, silk is orange, applique is yellow, and extra long is pink. Therefore, we used color to talk, because people don't like to read, they just want to visually get the message instantly. So now if you look at this wall here briefly, it's very simple. It's not multiple different things happening. If you look at that wall over there, you can see that you basically see 3 or 4 or 5 different colors. Subliminally, it tells you something, that something systematic is happening. Then we took that color and we packaged the product very beautifully so that it showed you what the pin looks like, it shows you what it does with the fabric, and it is put in a beautiful case so that it becomes a thing of beauty and art and ergonomics that comes to you. When you look at the whole setup of pins and how beautifully that by color and by graphics it has been put forward, emotionally it touches you and you want to try to relate to it and to use it. This is what we call original. Nobody has done this kind of thing before in this industry. We took this philosophy and then we layered it onto the next subcategory, which is the category of the magic clip. Now we looked at the magic clip. There were other clips on the market, but what was the issue? And they're great products, but what was the issue? When you came to the foot of the sewing machine, you had to stop and you had to take out that clip and then you had to go forward. So that meant you have to readjust and you don't get such a good quality. We came up with the magic clip, which you did not have to stop. Imagine you're sitting in a developmental room with R&D people and you tell them, make me a clip that goes under the foot of the sewing machine. It seemed undoable, but we persevered. And like with new product development, there are certain serendipity aha moments. One of the designers had a little money clip with them where they had put money on it. And suddenly we said, aha, we can do a clip with that kind of a concept, but make it go under the foot. So we created the magic clip, which now comes in 4 sizes, a big, a small, an extra small, and a mini. Again, an original, never done before. So now we've done that with the clip. Then going forward, we can talk about even say a simple thing like a needle threader. How boring is a needle threader? But when women were using it, they said it's very difficult for us to see. So the first thing we did was we realized when you create a blue background and place a pin or a needle and a threader in front of a blue background, it is easier to see. So we created this design against the blue background using the world's best metal, which is strong, flexible, and doesn't break, but it's very thin. And we put it against this blue background so it's easier to thread, easier to use. And then the one thing you do when you thread your needle is you reach for a pair of scissors to cut it. Well, not anymore. There is a built-in little blade which you just instantly and intuitively use to touch a thing. All the products that we make transcend geography, language, religion, and every other thing. Why? For instance, when you look at your smartphone, it's very simple. It has one button. Intuitively, what do? You know you have to press it and something will happen.
Of course. Same
thing with all our products. We want them to talk to you in a simple way without having to read a manual. So when you see our needle threaders, when you see our pins, when you start to just touch them, you intuitively and instinctively start to know how to go about using them. So again, the needle threader was just another example. The seam ripper.
Oh, I have so many bad seam rippers at home, I'm telling you.
So what did we do? There are 2 aspects to a seam ripper. There is the blade. The blade has to be extra sharp and has to be very smooth when it goes into your thread. We developed a process, a steel process that created the best blade. Then, what is the one problem you have with a seam ripper? You lose the cap. So when you go to grab your seam ripper, it pokes your hand. We came up with the 2-in-1 seam ripper where you extend it and you get one blade, you pull it back in and it retracts into the body and then you can go on the other side and you get the small blade on the other side.
Cool.
Even these grips, which are silicone, so it's easier to hold, have a dual purpose. When you have loose thread, if you rub this on your loose thread, it removes the loose thread that you have just removed. So simple things like this elevate a product, a simple product, into something that a person, when they're using it, go, yeah, someone was thinking about me when they were designing these products.
Absolutely. So I have one question in my mind. How come that you are so interested in making these products better? There must be a story about it. It's not like you woke up one day and said, hey, let's do better needles.
So there is, how do I put this? Some of it is DNA. It's in a person. As a person, I'm inquisitive, I am inventive, I want to know, and I want to try to do better things. I have created more with other companies before, but when I started looking at the sewing and quilting line, and I suddenly realized no one has actually thought about things for 50, 60 years. Then we started strategically looking at things one by one systematically. And at the end of the day, we feel we're not even in the product business. We're in the happiness business. Because if someone uses our product, whether it's a pin or a clip or a needle threader, and they're able to do the work a little easier, a little better, and a smile comes across their face, our job is done.
That's so true.
We actually feel we're in the happiness business in the products that we create.
Yeah.
And for us, the greatest joy, these are like our little children. And when someone's, like when the teacher says, hey, your child is pretty good, he's doing well, that's all, that's happiness for us.
Yeah, I can absolutely relate to that, and I can tell you that I did hear a lot of good things about your brand. So that's really true, even here in Germany. So now, for about around 2 years ago, it came up a little bit in Germany, and now it feels like everybody, not so openly, you don't see it in the shops that much, but so the people that do use it day to day, and they are so happy. So right now in our customers, they send lists. So I did get this, it's so beautiful, you can order it here, and so it's like a tip that goes from mouth to mouth, and I think that's the best sign that the product is really, really good.
When you do something with honesty and with perseverance, and you don't cut corners, and you don't compromise, there are times in product development when a product is good enough, we say no, it has to be great. So we keep working harder, keep fine-tuning it till it is great. If you do your job, then the product will talk by itself.
That's so
We're
true.
not standing there telling everyone what it
buy
is.
it, buy it, buy it. No. Yeah.
We tell you, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
But if we've done our job well and we've done a great product, it will slowly, people will say that this is something unique. Never seen it before.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's the essence of it. You must be honest. Don't look to fool the customer. Be honest with them and try to do the very best product that you can bring.
Yeah.
And everything else will take care of itself.
That's so great. That's such a great business attitude and a personal character attitude as well. I mean,
very simple.
You will not do business like this if you would not be like this as a person.
It is very simple. This is an approach that stands the test of time. Even 500 years ago, if you made the best product at the best price with the best distribution, that's what people want.
Of course.
It's not fancy. It's old-fashioned. We're old-fashioned in what we do. We just make great product.
Yeah, great. What great words. So now I'm really, I would be really happy if you would show me around a little bit. I see you have a lot of products here. But first, how big is the company now? So 10 years ago, you started?
10 years ago, we had no products in sewing, quilting, and crochet. Today, we have over 200.
Wow.
So you can see the pace of innovation, and a lot of other companies are wondering, how do they do this at such a intense pace and come up with great products?
Yeah.
Short answer, we try to work very hard and we try to do an honest job. And we are unrelenting. And what we try to do, the first philosophy of innovation is you never rest. When you create a great product, like I'm going to show you here, when we created the original pin, we could have rested on that laurel.
Of course, yeah.
But we said no. Let us try to outdo our own original pin. So we came up with the Ultra Grip, which has these little rings. So just like in a BMW or a Mercedes, where there is the AMG, which is a little better, we came up with the Ultra Grip. Then we said, how do we even outdo this? We came up with the flathead with all these different little lines, and this was actually even better. So we are not afraid to outdo our best product and come up with something better.
Yeah.
We go ahead and do it.
Yeah, a lot of companies actually, I think, are, because they think, how about the old product? Nobody will buy it maybe, or we have to change a lot, or we will say something like the old product is not good anymore, or something like that. And I really like that you get innovative and say, let's do it better.
Was that by doing this, all the products started to sell well. Some of the older products, the newer products, and even the ones after them. So the whole market grew. And by the way, in our company, we have over 150 worldwide patents on all these different products. Yes.
That's good that you did patent it.
Yes.
Because I see a lot of now you see things like on Temu or something that are seem like similar.
Yeah.
And I know some people already ordered stuff like that, like Magic Clip or something like that, but they are not as stable. So how do you go? Can you do something against that? How do you handle things like that?
We have a very big legal department, patent and litigation legal department. Whenever we see anyone copy our products, we come down hard on them and we shut them down.
Yeah.
And we have done it multiple times. We have seen companies on Temu, on AliExpress, that we have had our legal attorneys go ahead and shut them down based on our worldwide patents.
That's good. So you have a grip on that, so
Absolutely.
They cannot. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need to. I think it's such a bothering thing that you have to go there and say, shut down your business, but you have to do that because it's your patent, right?
Well, when you create great products, it's a badge of honor that someone is trying to copy you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because great products are also simple products. Simple is hard to do. You can create a VCR with 50 buttons and you still don't know how to use it. But when people see a simple and a great product, they want to try to copy it. It took us 2 years to develop it. It can take them 3 days to copy it. But that's our job, to stop them.
Yeah.
And we do. We stop every single one of them from copying our products.
Yeah, you need to do that, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so how big is the brand right now? How many people are you in? But I already see you come from the USA. We already talked about it. So where are you located? Now you must be in so many countries, like in Europe, USA, Australia. Where can we find Taylor Seville?
Yes. So we are in the United States, all over the United States, in over 3,000 to 4,000 stores in the United States. About 5 years ago, we started entering Europe, and I have to say we have been very successful. And we have now pretty much in every country presence of Taylor Seville, and we're growing very nicely. We have a great presence in Japan, and we're doing very well in Japan. We have in Australia, we have a great distribution, and of course also in South America and around the world. And we are growing every day. And it is a great sense of pride and joy for us that products that we have created are transcending geography, language, religion, and they are being used by all kinds of people all over the world. Yeah. That is just a thing of joy. Yeah,
I can imagine that. You must be very proud.
I would say we are passionate. We love what we do. And my grandmother told me, if you do something that you love, you haven't worked a day in your life.
That's so true.
So we're having fun.
Yeah, That's so
We're
true.
just enjoying ourselves.
Cool. How cool. So, show us around.
Yes,
We will follow you.
I'll be happy to. Maybe we can start from this side. So I'll... Hi. So this is something new that we have come up with. It's the Magic Fabric Glue. It is recently launched. It is the best formulation of a temporary fabric glue. It goes on purple so you can see where it was applied. It dries clear, which is what you want. It is temporary, so when you put your fabrics or paper together, it holds it tightly. But when you want to release it, you simply pull it and it comes apart. And it can also be removed with a damp cloth. It is in an ergonomic dispenser. And what we have done, which no one else has done, is there are two sizes. There is a rectangle. So if you want a very thin line or a wide line, you use the rectangle. Or you have the round, which is an evergreen process.
Cool.
Then I can walk you through our binding maker, which is, I can use the word revolutionary. Why? Because prior to this, making a crease in a fabric, you have to use an iron.
Yes, that's true.
Not anymore. We developed a technology where when you slide your fabric through the binding maker, it puts a crease in the fabric without the use of an iron.
How do you do that?
Well, that's the magic.
Okay, I can handle
it. It took us a year to be able to do that.
Yeah, wow, that's really like, it's a little bit like magic, right?
That's why we tend to overuse the word magic, but we're not shy about it because our products do some magic.
Actually, it is magic, yes.
Then there is the Wonder Grip and Thimble, which we realized that when there was a thimble, but you do two things. You push, but then you have to pull from the other end. No one in 2,000 years had thought of that. So we created the Wonder Grip and Thimble, which you put on your finger and your thumb. You push with the thimble, and you pull at the back end with the grip that you get with the tool.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, true. Slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have the Magic Beeswax, which is this very unique dispenser which allows you to rotate the wax to get a fresh surface when you are using your thread.
Yeah, cool.
This recently launched the Magic Crochet Hook. We are extremely proud of what we have done in terms of the smoothness of the hook, where the yarn glides like butter over the hook, and the handle, especially with these special little notches, is ergonomically, when you do your hooks for hours, it is easy and comfortable with your hand. It's called the Magic Crochet Hook Joy Series. And then look at how we present the product. When you get, say, a beautiful ring for your special someone, it is presented in a very nice little velvet package. That's what we do with the crochet hook. It's against a black background in a three-dimensional package, so it just looks beautiful and inviting.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Look at this. Yeah. Cool.
Then I can walk you through. We talked about the clips.
Yeah.
We talked about the binding maker.
Yeah. And there, over there, we have like chalk and the.
Go to and see the pins if you like.
Yeah, of course.
So again, you can see some of our products. We talked about the needle threader. You can see how graphically the packaging talks to you, and it transcends language. It shows you how to use the product 1, 2, 3. So we don't have to use language graphically, and people don't like to read. All our products graphically show you how to use them and how to interact with them. So we have our different marking devices.
What's that?
This is called the thread genie. When you cut thread, sometimes it frays.
Oh, yeah.
So this thread genie, the tip heats to a high temperature, and when you touch your frayed thread, it seals that, and it's no longer frayed anymore.
So you don't have to do it with a lighter?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then you have the bobbin topper, where you can keep your bobbin and your spool of thread together.
That's great.
That's
as
a nice
well.
little invention. The thread magic is iconic. It's like Coca-Cola in the industry. It is not wax. It is a hypoallergenic polymer. It does not melt, it does not freeze, and it does not leave a residue on your thread.
Yeah, and I already saw that, and I thought, like, isn't it doing some harm to the sewing machine
Not
actually?
at all.
Because the needle goes inside, and then doesn't it leave like some
no residue,
sticky...
and it does not harm the machine.
Great.
It is revolutionary.
Great. So, one last question: what is your best-selling product so far, and what is the product you are most proud about?
Well, it's like asking a parent which child do you love the most.
It will be so hard.
They will tell you they love them all.
Of course.
Them all. But I would say that every category, the product that we have developed, or 2 or 3, are the best in their category in that whole industry. So if really we don't look at the products that we make ourselves, we look at how the customer relates to it, and we look at how the industry relates to it. The reason we as a young company have done so well over the years, because in every category we have the very best compared to any other notions company in the world.
That's something to say. I mean, not every company can say that.
And it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing that when the consumers actually use it, they say, yes, indeed it is.
That's true.
It doesn't matter what I say. It's what the consumer says, and you can see that, you know, people are loving our products.
Yeah. I'm so happy to meet you. Thank you so much for your time. It was such a wonderful interview, and I wish you all the best, and I hope anytime soon we can sell your products on our shop as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.